Oakley's Plumbing Supplies is Nelson's only locally owned plumbing merchant and bathroom retailer. Owners Clayton and Rachel Knowles are proud to support locals getting into their new or renovated homes. Their team of specialists knows that establishing a home is a special moment, and the bathroom will be a haven, a luxurious personal space that can help soothe away the stresses of the day. Head into Oakley's stunning Richmond showroom and begin your dream bathroom project.
Kia ora, Valeriya. Lovely to have you on the Nelson Pod. Thanks for joining us.
Kia ora, Matt. Thank you for inviting. It's a big opportunity to share, what is going on in Ukraine also and pay attention.
You're so welcome. And so we met about a year ago, and I went to a friend of yours' house to get a photo of her and some other people with some cakes to do a Facebook post about the first bake sale that the local Ukrainian community held to raise funds for people back at home. And you were there. And people said, oh, yeah, she just got here. And I said, what do you mean she just got here? And they said, oh, yeah, she came out from Ukraine like a week ago. I was like, oh my God. And that's how we met. And so much has happened since then. But let's go back a bit further to when your life changed, because you're living in Ukraine, you had a business going, everything was going really well. And then the invasion started.
So, yes, I came here because of the war. This was the reason. And if to remember the 23rd of February, like the not day of invasion, but the day before. So we lived like kind of simple life, and I didn't believe in the war at all. Like, I thought it's 21st century, we had experience, for the world it's enough, the war. It's not proper time now because, like, who wants to kill the person? Like, what is the reason for that?
Sure.
We can live all together, build whatever we want to build, but not to kill. We are human, we can speak, we can deal. But in the end of the day, I had a call from my friend, and she said to me, please, maybe I will cry, I hope.
It's okay if you do.
Yeah. Please put the water in your bath, buy bread, buy eggs, and go home. And I was like, is it so bad? And she was like, it's terribly bad. And she like put the phone, and I was like crying.
Where was she calling from, Valeriya?
Like from my town.
From
my town, because it's my very close friend and we have the same age of the kids. And I was like, okay, no, like I need to deal with it, And so I came home, I packed my clothes, and I was wake up from a call from my husband because he was away, and he was like, Valeriya, the war started at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you understand, that you need to leave, but the problem is that where to live, like where to escape, where to hide, what to take. The clothes which I even packed the day before, it's the clothes which I even didn't wear because in the stress, I heard it once, I think from the Balenciaga, how he was inspired for oversized clothes. And it was because of Syria refugees, because when they hid it, they took parents' clothes and everything. And if to be honest, I also took everything which is kind of big for me, what is kind of comfort to run, comfort to, to escape. And even for my daughter Tereza, I took the stuff which she even didn't need to. But in this kind of rush and in this mood, can you imagine just like, you need to leave, like now. And that's all. And what you can see around you, you will put in your bag, or whatever. So I was in the elevator crying with my daughter, and she was like, she didn't understand. She was like 4.5. She didn't understand what is going on. I was in the elevator with her with the big bags, kind of random stuff, and I was crying, and the father of my neighbor, he was like, are you also leaving? I was like, of course. And he was like, right decision. And sitting in the car, driving to my granny, because we decided, like my mom called me from New Zealand, like, Valeriya, the war started. She was like crying in the phone, just like hysterics. I was kind of tried to be as much strong as I can. Like, I'm objective. This is a situation, I need to escape, like what? And we decided that I will go to my granny because she's 68 and I can't leave her also here. And she doesn't live in the center, so it's kind of near the lake. And this feeling, then you think that your parents' house or the place where you grow, it's the most safety one. And when you cry or when you have some problems, you go to your parents' house. And I did the same. I went to my granny's house. But this is reality. You can't hide. You can't escape. You can't, hesitate. So I went there and we had it in the corridor. We were bombed. There was like street fights. It was like I was sitting there and I felt like I'm so brave person. But in fact, I'm just brave for my daughter. And the only one thing which the mother wants to do is just to save a child.
Sure.
And I was near to her like all the time, just like, and even my stress was so big that I asked her, 4.5 years old girl, please don't leave me alone.
And this is your hometown, Sumy?
Sumy. Yeah, we lived like only 40 kilometers with Russian border. And when the invasion started, they came to, and they bombed always in night, when it's like the most kind of people go fall asleep. So it's psychology also attack, when people almost biological hours on the body and everything. And the bomb is like when you're sleeping in the bed, like you're already prepared. If you will need to hide, you're already in the clothes. So you sleep in the clothes, but you can't say you're sleeping. You just like close your eyes. This is the feeling. You can't eat, you can't drink, you forget to do it. And this was kind of good instructions in our messages, everywhere. Please don't forget. So I put alarm to drink water, to eat. I took care about my granny. But the stuff which you feel is just like how to survive, and this mood of surviving. You can't sleep. Your body kind of become very strong. Of course, and you can do whatever, run, here, whatever, I don't know, but you can't sleep, you can't do anything. You just like focus on this surviving stuff.
So you're in the apartment building, which is where your granny had an apartment.
Yeah.
And I understand that you were sleeping in the corridor.
Yeah, because there is a rule that we live in the kind of high, very building, like 10 floors, so we have elevators and everything. So when the house is built, it's kind of inside the elevator and everything's kind of strong walls which hold, and then another walls. So this, if the bomb will be like fall down on the ground, I don't know, and the wave from the bomb will destroy the first wall, but the second wall will be staying. So we sit in between these kind of strong walls from the two sides. And you're sitting like there with your clothes, with your boots, with your 2 dogs, with your daughter. She's sleeping on you because it's 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and you just prepared to run. Where to run from your house.
So how long were you sheltering in the corridor, hiding in the corridor
So
for?
I was there for 2 weeks, and then I decided to leave. And it's like, can you imagine, like every day was the call, like, I'm leaving now, you will. So the leaving was in the night, during like some ways which you don't know, so it wasn't green corridor, and I was like, I'm not ready. And the most awful feeling is to leave the house. And I felt it twice, just like first when I took my daughter from my house where I built something, and then leaving your parents' house. And then in this situation, when I decided that I'm going to leave, I asked my granny, you need to pray as good as you can, because I don't know what is expected for us. And please pray. So I stand on my knees on my bed, like in the movies, like that, looking in the, some picture of Jesus. I never did it before. I cried, I prayed, then again cried, then picked some stuff. Again, what stuff you don't understand because it doesn't matter at all. But the only one thing which I understand, it should be my backpack with documentation on me and water. That's all what I need, really.
So you got that together and then you left?
Yeah, and then I left in the great corridor. So when it was, and I left, and there was like, but in another way. So because sometimes they even like put missiles, I don't know, like for these green corridors, because
Mortars.
yeah, why they did it is nobody knows, but they did it. These Russian tanks and everything.
So a green corridor is a safe zone.
Yeah,
for
it
people to get out.
should be.
Yeah.
It should be the safe zone. But when that was the first day of this green corridor, they shoot it, so people just like run away, and then it was mistake. What mistake? Like, but so yeah, but we had it like from another way, and to escape, you need to have like 2 or 3 cars. You can't escape by yourself, because if something happened with your car, you need to sit in another car, and you need to escape with the people who you trust, that you will be not left on the road. And when we drive there was so many cars left,
Right.
because it was minus 20. It was ice on the roads. Of course, nobody cleaned it.
And you're going to Poland.
So yeah, my purpose was just like to go to Poland and to my sister, because it's the only one way. And I met my husband, and because he was away, and I said like, please don't go to Sumy for us. Wait for us, and we will go to Polish border. And he was like calling me. Can you imagine? Like, please leave today. Please leave today. Please, please, please. And in this situation, you're just like, what can happen in the road? You don't know. People are raped. I don't know. People are killed. Stolen clothes, stolen stuff and documents and money and everything in the cars. Broken cars. And you thinking about all this risk.
So you've got you,
My daughter,
your daughter,
my granny, and
granny?
2 dogs.
and 2 dogs in a car.
In the car.
Yeah.
And all the girls, even the
Yeah.
dogs. And
And how long does it take to get to the Polish
it
border?
was about 4 days to take us, and because it was forbidden to, even now it's forbidden to drive through the night. Yeah, so it took, it was long way, but yeah, it
And
was
what
right decision.
And what did you see on that trip? What of the war did you see between Sumy and Poland?
Oh, it was when I just crossed the border with Poland. I'm standing there in the border, and I was given the passports, and we cross, and there was volunteers with posters like "Welcome,"
Right.
you're safe.
Yeah.
I began to cry, but I didn't stop to talk to these volunteers because I wanted to get to my sister.
Yeah.
And there was food, there was like stuff and everything provided, but when you just like escaped, and the only one thing you want to be with someone who you like, your family. And drive directly to Wrocław, and then 5 minutes and the radio changed. There was Vladimir Zelensky all the time talking like, please be calm, everything will be like okay, our army is there, if there will be attacks, please hide. And then bam, and it's music. And you're just like, what happened, And this is like some kind of Lady Gaga. Hello,
right,
just
yeah.
like...
It's like you're in a different world.
Yeah, like how you can listen to that, It's not my mood now.
Right.
And then there was like advertising and everything, and then I saw people riding a bicycle, walking their dogs, just like holding hands of their children outside.
Yeah.
While I was with my child hiding between the corridors, and just like ask her to be with me all the time, and I couldn't even put the waste in the rubbish, just like outside.
How's your daughter?
Oh, she's really cool now, and she remembers some stuff from Ukraine, and even like now she's sharing sometimes, But it's amazing how children are in present always. They live present moment. Like I studied from her always, It's just like, you had your past. you think, Mom, we will go to the park. It's so cool, You can plan something, but in general, kids are happy just now. And this was so cool stuff. I'm so grateful that I had daughter, even like it's war, but I sit and I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I just like want to lie like that in my bed, and
but you
do
couldn't.
nothing.
But you couldn't.
But I couldn't. Mom, I want to dance. It doesn't matter, war, bad weather outside or something like that. I want to
Yeah.
dance. Okay,
Yeah.
I put music on my phone and we dance. I want to draw. I want to play with the dolls. And you sit and you do this stuff. And it helped me a lot to focus on something else, how to
Yeah.
move on, you know.
I remember you telling me that there were some points when you're trying to get out of Ukraine where you were carrying her, and you were carrying her on the front, on your front.
It was instructions. So
Yeah.
there was instruction that if you like have a child, you know, and always be sure that you have your backpack with documentation, everything, and you need to hold your child in front of you because you'll see where to run. And if there will be like you run from something, so obviously bullets or something, you know, what is dangerous. So your child will be like in safe always, you know. So it was instruction. And even like when I escaped, I wrote her name on her hand, Tereza Konik, phone number of my sister, and in Poland, and please call her.
Yep.
Please call her auntie, Maria, and wrote my. And I said to my daughter, who is like a small girl, if something happened to me, this is what you need to show.
Yep.
And then I arrived to Poland and I saw the article that one of the women wrote on child's back, and I was like, oh, this is so smart. I'm stupid. Because like this is can be easily worse. Yeah, while in the back, like child will be, you know, and it's and this is what the stuff which you don't understand that you need to, but also what is like the names and everything. I put in her pockets the papers with her names and everything and information, even like my passport, who I am, who is her mother and everything, you know. Like if I will be, I don't know, killed or injured or I don't know, maybe something will happen to me, that they will understand who is the child of.
Yeah. But you got through it.
Yes, yes.
And your granny today is where?
In Ukraine.
Oh, you're right. She's still in Ukraine.
No, she come back to Ukraine.
Really?
Yeah. So can you imagine? Because like for her, she's 68 years old, and for her it was too difficult to accept new reality, to be in foreign country and to be with the people who she doesn't understand.
Right.
So it's a big challenge, you know, and especially like. For young people, as she said, it's very easy. You can study English, you know how to, I don't know, even to find the shop. You know how to manage the maps. Well, I lived only in one town my whole life, and I know only this town. And for me, it's kind of difficult.
So she went back to Sumy. Wow. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. Like, in a way, it's possible. But she said, I have here my friends. And this is what it is, unfortunately. Because, yeah, we think that we give people visas and they will be like, you know, here. But sometimes there are some factors which we can't understand.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I understand that there's some complicating factors around where your husband is today, so you can't talk about that, or we don't want to talk about that. But can you tell us, is he safe? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's safe, he's okay, so it's the main, like...
Yeah, because that must have been incredibly stressful being separated.
Of course, like when you see the child who's like, oh, when my daddy will come, you know, and crying and just like, oh, thanks to technologies, we're not in, like in the bad time when we need to send the pigeon, you know, with the letter, FaceTime, hello, and anytime at least you have internet connection. But it's not the same to, you know, not to share how she's dancing or to cuddle and to support and anytime. So of course it's difficult situation for the families to be separated because of the war.
So you've been in Nelson now for about a year.
Yes.
And it must be in many ways like when you arrived in Poland, like you're in this place that's, you know, far away, but the news is on from, you know, Ukraine, and yet you're starting a new life and you've got a job with Jens Hansen Jewelers, and does it seem very strange still? Or have you got used to it?
So when I arrived here, you know, at the beginning I was thinking that, oh my God, this is different from what I got used to. And I was in the mood kind of criticizing, you know, myself, like, this is another banking system, I need my proof of address, I need that and this. And that makes me stressed, you know, so much. But then I remember one advice from my previous work when I worked in the bank in Ukraine. And I went to my boss and I said, like, look, this bank does like that. Why we can't do like that, you know? And he was like, you need to forget.
Okay.
You need to forget how it works and just accept new system.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, right. But I was at that time 20 years old, 21, you know? So what you understand, I need to accept, okay,
Yep.
there's no another choice. And I was like, here it's also, there is no another choice. You just need to accept that the life is like that here in Nelson. And I tried to put all my old memories like back in my brain, you know, and just like put in the boxes. Yeah, this is my new experience. And at the beginning, I felt like, oh, this is weird, But then I was like, no, I'm accepted that. People don't wear the shoes.
Oh, yeah.
In the supermarket.
Yeah,
it's kind of cold.
Yeah.
I will not do the same.
Mm.
Is it weird? This is their lifestyle, you know? And I want to kind of be respectful of also their traditions and everything. So they live like that, and okay. You know, so I didn't want to find something weird stuff. I just like what I can accept for my style. Like.
Sure.
Yeah. So that helped me a lot, you know, just to build my life. And then here in Nelson, people feel the time in a different way. So in Ukraine, when I went to my clients, you know, in like business clients, whatever, and they said like, Valeriya, we need it for yesterday. And you're just like in a rush, okay, we need it for yesterday, I need to do it for tomorrow then, and everything is in stress, and you're just like, Here, when we do need, how much time do you need for that? And this is like, I didn't get to have this question even, you know,
Right.
like how much time do I need to do this? But use like, you know, and it was like kind of so cool that people want to get good result and they respect the time of your work.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Or for example, what I really enjoy here, that everything is very planned.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, if you want to meet someone, you can't say, let's meet tomorrow.
Okay.
You need to say, let's catch up someday when it fits to you. And then it's like, even not next week, maybe in 2 weeks or maybe next month, but you need like to deal, like you can message the person tomorrow and talk about like in 2 weeks,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is kind of good because it put less stress on you.
Okay. So how does it work in Ukraine?
Oh, let's catch up now.
Okay.
Then you call your family, I'm sorry, I catch up with someone.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye, have dinner without me. Yeah, it's everything
Interesting.
kind of... it's not bad, again. I'm not criticizing here or
No, sure.
Ukrainians or New Zealanders. It's just like that. And it's something in Nelson, you know, in this kind of vibe, when everyone thinks that they have all the plenty of the time to make right decision. Do I want to go to Europe for travel? You know, and they think and they discuss it, and just like raised different opinions from the people. Have you been to that town? Did you enjoy? And even how New Zealanders build the conversation, it's just amazing to listen. In Ukraine, in Sumy, I was kind of weirder, like because I was talking to everyone, like, how are you? And then, but here in Nelson, I'm even don't speak too much because for me, even like I'm sometimes stuck with what I can ask people, you know, what is kind of information I ask people from. And here in Nelson, everyone is talking about personal life so easily.
Okay.
Oh, is it your friend? Is it your partner? How long are you together? Oh, you have a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, whatever. What is the name of the kid? Does she do dancing and everything? And you're just like, oh, where I am? I'm in the police.
Right. Interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
so many questions for me about my personal life, which I didn't get used to have.
Yeah.
And
And how about like people's understanding of what's been happening in Ukraine? What sort of support have you had from people when it comes to what Ukraine is going through?
So here, when I arrived, what I really mentioned that New Zealanders like to help someone directly. So if they understand, like know you, they will like help you. So I was very lucky and very grateful that the first question when I arrived and someone asked me like, what do you need? Like, what help you can provide? I was like, unfortunately, my daughter doesn't have even books or toys to play because we just arrived and what she had, it's just like we got in Poland, you know. And I was given like whole garage of the toys, of the books, bicycles, scooters, and everything. And I was like, oh my God. And it was just a call of my friend, Maria. And she was like, hi. Oh, like, we will be tomorrow with all these toys. Is it okay if my husband will bring it? I was like, okay. And then we opened the garage and he was like putting all the boxes, you know, and everything. And I was like, oh, wow, it's so amazing, you know. But yeah, when you, like, I'm a refugee in the fact, but I have work visa, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying not to feel like a refugee. And for myself, it's very important for myself, you know, that, yeah, I accepted that. I'm on work visa as another people. I need to achieve, I need to, I don't know, something to do to build my life, and I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful even for this work visa because this is the opportunity to be with my family. My visa is already 1 year like left, you know, and we don't know what it will be in 1 year.
Yeah.
We don't know. And of course we are like asking, please give us a little bit plan, like few further steps, because a lot of people, I know English, I'm quite lucky, and I got the job, and I'm trying to build my life, you know, but a lot of people who come here, they have only families here, and they're thinking about, do I need to invest in English courses to have better job, or it's just temporary and I need to go to the factory and it doesn't matter what language I know, you know, or what it will be my future, or I need to come back to the place where I don't have the place.
What do you hope for in your future?
I hope that I will stay here because my daughter is happy here very much, and I'm happy here, and to see how she is speaking English without accent, my accent, you know, she's speaking Kiwi accent. This is very cute, and she has a lot of friends here, and she loves her school. She goes to Stoke school, and she's so happy. She brings us her homework to do while we're just like, you know, sitting after work, like a little bit like that, talking to each other. And she was like, my homework, Mom, we need to write that. And I was like, oh my God, I wasn't so responsible at my
and all of this was possible because your mum is married to a Kiwi, New Zealander.
And they come here after COVID, like while COVID, even during the COVID, they came here. And she became a resident of New Zealand, and in 1 month the war started. So can you imagine? It was just luck of my mom, maybe. And and then she applied for me for this work visa, and we got this work visa, and I was in Poland, and in 3 days they bought me a ticket because I didn't have anything. They bought me a ticket, and I just came here.
And so great that you could come here. So
I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
So Valeriya, what is it that you want people to think about when it comes to the war in Ukraine today? Because it's been going, you know, for over a year, and we see it on the news, but people kind of get used to bad news, and they just sort of doesn't have the same impact that it had a year ago. What do you want to say to people in terms of thinking about the war?
So, you know, one person came to me in Nelson, by the way, and he said, oh, I know you're Ukrainian, I saw you one in the event. And I was like, yeah, do you understand that it's not everything black and white? And I was like, what is that? Is it Russia propaganda? Hello? And I was, okay, is it good, black or white, if people, like children, are raped on the eyes of the parents? Is it black or white? Is it black or white if people just been killed because they are Ukrainians? Is it black or white if you're sleeping in your bed and you have the bomb from the sky? And he was like, oh, from this perspective, it's everything black, of course. But I'm not ready for this conversation. Bye-bye. And I was like, why are you then asking? Like, But what is going on now? People are exhausted, you know, from Ukrainian war. But it's not Ukrainian war. It's the war between democracy and
totalitarianism
with the kind of spicy of democracy. And the war is in my country there's even 2 wars. One is for the territory and saving the borders, and another one with Russian propaganda. And this is what the world and every country needs to understand, that we have the very big enemy, all of us. And what we need to do, there is no two truths, or we need to listen to both sides. We were invaded. We were sleeping, like we were building our country, and we were invaded by another country. And this is what should be understandable. They say they save us. They not. I'm Russian speaker person. I wasn't aware that I will be bombed. I'm Russian speaker person. My father was born in Moscow. My grandfather was born in Russia, and he even was military. So as Russian speaker, I was afraid of this Russian army with savers.
Yeah.
But they do capture captivity, torture. Our Ukrainian guys who come from these camps, you just I cry every time when I see it. They have apple. Have you seen this video? Ukrainian guys, I will send you the link that maybe you will put it. So our Ukrainian guys have Ukrainian apple holding like that and eating and crying, and he's I was dreaming about this apple. They don't have anything in that prisons. They torture, they just do the most terrible stuff to the people who had to fight, who
These are
to protect their families.
These are Ukrainian prisoners of war. Is that what you're talking about?
So when army is fighting, they put and for example, one army just winning, they take people in captivity, and
those
exchange.
Guys.
I don't know. And this is when we have this our people, and even from Azovstal, people are now in Russia. Azovstal doing it's in Mariupol, when the people were occupied, and the only one way to save their lives was to send them to Russia and then to exchange for our people. So they just have to leave because they were so injured and everything, and go to Russian prison. So a lot of people are still there from Azovstal. They are in Russia, and they are now in the court, and now they will be for all their life in prison. And there are women, men, and everything. And if to look at these people, they look sick, they don't feed properly and everything, and they don't have any proper medical care or something like that. And if to have a look for the prisoners, these military people who are Russian, but they stay in Ukraine in the hospitals, they come there from our hospitals in normal conditions. They had every proper medical support, food, bed, and they just prisoners because of the war, and they treat them as prisoners, but with good kind of conditions. But unfortunately, our people, because they have Ukrainian passport and they do terrible stuff. And there are different information. Of course, if people want to know if it's black or white, of course, they can find everything. And there is no two sides of. There is only one truth, unfortunately.
So if people in Nelson want to support the people of Ukraine, how can they do it within Nelson?
So in Nelson is Taukako charity fund. And it's kind of strong, and they do always some kind of initiatives, different events, and we are very open to any help. So don't be shy to contact.
Yeah.
And also there are a lot of different information which is shared on Facebook page on Mahi for Ukraine. And this is girls from Auckland, but not only girls, but they share a lot, and they do also a lot. And even they raised money for Ukrainians who just arrived here. Because if to think about the refugee, what you thinking about? They don't have anything. I arrived here, I had my backpack, and my daughter didn't have any toys, or even you don't even has towel or something like that. This is basic stuff. When you, for example, decide to leave the country and to travel or to build new life in another country, you always pack your stuff, you know, you're always thinking about the photographies which you will have. Do you need this diploma to take with you? Or I don't know, do you need this doll from your childhood which your godmother gave it to you, Now I miss this old stuff, of course. And this is very sentimental. When you go to New Zealand houses, and it's so cool, they have different magnets of their fridges, from different countries. then they have something on their wall, kind of painting, which is from Venice or whatever, and they put all this kind of stuff from their traveling to their houses. While in Ukraine, it's just like, oh my God, this is all. Why I need this in my house? You know, it's like kind of close to me, so I don't need to buy some magnets or something like that. And while here, I'm just like missing a lot of stuff which I brought from different countries. But yeah. But whatever.
Well, hey, look, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
There's, you've had an unbelievable time, and it's great that you've found a new life and a home and a safe home here in Nelson Whakatū. And it's look, I just think you're pretty amazing, Valeriya. Really,
you.
I know you've been talking to a lot of people about what's happening in Ukraine, and you're putting a lot of yourself out there. But it is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you, New Zealand, also for this opportunity. To be with the family, because this is the value which we sometimes thinking like when something happened, even like think about COVID, because it's more about New Zealand. What we wanted to do at the beginning, to be with the family, and nothing matters. When the war, you want to be so much with the family. You want to do everything for the family. So, unfortunately, we have one enemy. All over the world have one enemy. And if we will not cooperate against that, then all the world will lose. Even now, Zelensky said to all the world, Zaporozhskaya nuclear station is full of bombs by Russian military. And what they're doing now, they're just like, manipulating, maybe. Or maybe it's true, we don't know, but this is a fact. There are bombs there, and they want to bomb it. Because before Kakhovskaya, I guess, they bombed it. And now, in the news or whatever, there is not enough information about that. There is not enough attention. But this is ecology. We live in one planet. We think we can hide somewhere, but we can't hide. We're all connected with each other. And like a lot of towns, if you will see in Ukraine, they just burned. They put the strategy, by the way, which they used in Syria. They just like put missiles, burned the land, and people, of course, left. Of course, because there is now no houses, no land, nothing. It's just like black. And this is the same with Mariupol. This is the same with a lot of towns, unfortunately, in my country.
So again, thank you so much for your time and everything that you've been sharing with us, and also with the people of Nelson Whakatū, and also the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand. You've been doing an amazing job talking about what's been happening in Ukraine to New Zealanders all over the place, and really thank you so much for that.
Thank you for listening.
You're welcome.